Today's episode is an absolute roller coaster of mind-bending experiences as we delve into the fascinating wonders of Japan. Get ready to buckle up because, believe me, this journey is going to take you on a wild ride through a realm where reality and imagination collide. Number 20. Egg vending machines. Japan has a lot of strange things that you won't find anywhere else. One thing they really like is vending machines. Unlike the ones you're used to, Japan puts all sorts of stuff in theirs. They've got about 3.2 million vending machines all over the place. That's one for every 36 people. These machines make a ton of money, around $6.4 billion each year, which is about $60 for every person. Now, in Japan, vending machines are way more than just for drinks and snacks. They have machines in the countryside that sell eggs. Yeah, eggs. These machines keep the eggs at the right temperature for up to 2 weeks, and they're dispensed in a clever way to make sure they don't break. Number 19. Japan's Island of Bunnies. So, there's this island in Japan called Okinoshima, and it's like a bunny paradise. It's part of Japan's cute culture. The island has a law that protects the bunnies, and it's so strict that cats and dogs are not allowed. The bunnies can do whatever they want, and they end up having a lot of baby bunnies. Even though it's like a never-ending bunny party, a lot of people, especially tourists, like to go there. They enjoy lying on the ground while bunnies hop around them. It might seem cute, but having so many bunnies around could be a bit overwhelming. Imagine thousands of bunnies crawling all over you. It's a bit like a horror movie, even though it starts off seeming cute. Number 18. The Capsule Hotel. If you've ever wondered what it's like to wake up in a morgue, then the Capsule Hotel might be the experience you've been waiting for. In the crowded spaces of Japanese cities, the Capsule Hotel takes small living to the extreme. Sleeping in a tiny cubicle that's 7 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 4 feet high might feel a bit cramped, almost like a coffin, but it's just a tad bigger. In Tokyo, a regular hotel room can cost around $200 per night, while sleeping in this strange corridor of cupboards in the Capsule Hotel only costs $25. That lower price might make the coffin-like feeling a little more bearable. Number 17. Hitachi Seaside Park. The Hitachi Seaside Park in Japan is like a magical garden that might be from a Star Trek show or a Tim Burton movie. It sits by the Pacific Ocean and is a very popular place for tourists. The park is really big, over 3 hectares, and it looks amazing all year round. There are millions of colourful flowers that bloom at the same time, making it very beautiful. The park is most famous for the season when it has more than 4.5 million blue neophilia flowers all over. Besides the amazing flowers, the park has all the usual things you'd expect in a tourist spot, like gardens, games, and fun activities. But what makes it extra special is that you can take some really unique and cool pictures for your Instagram. That's the main goal for many people, right? Number 16. Kit Kats in Japan. Kit Kats are like chocolate bars with layers of wafers inside. They're popular in lunchboxes in many places and made in 16 countries. In Japan, Kit Kats are not just regular chocolate. They come in more than 300 flavors. The name Kit Kat sounds like Kitokatsu in Japanese, meaning good luck. So, in Japan, people often give Kit Kats as a gift for good luck during exams. However, the flavors in Japan might be a bit unusual, like soy sauce or green tea. But if you prefer something less adventurous, there are flavors like creme brulee, ginger ale, and cherry blossom. The big question is, do they go well with a good cup of tea? Number 15. KFC for Christmas dinner. Every place has its own customs, that's true. Most of them come from families over many years, but some traditions are made up by people who want to sell things. In Japan, a really old country with lots of its own customs, there's a funny tradition. It started in 1974 by a salesman. In Japan, they don't really celebrate Christmas, but this story goes like this. The boss of the first KFC in Japan told people a little lie. He said that eating KFC was a tradition in America for Christmas. It sounds weird, but in Japan, it's hard to get turkey, a popular Christmas food. So, with few options for a classic Christmas dinner, people started to like the idea. Now, almost 50 years later, around 3.6 million Japanese people eat KFC for Christmas every year. They have to order it weeks before and wait in long lines to get their special Christmas dinner. It's quite festive. Number 13. Blue traffic light. In most parts of the world, the color green usually means go. We all know that. But in Japan, they decided to do something different. In the past, Japan had green traffic lights. However, in 1973, the government decided to change the shade of green for all traffic lights. They wanted to use a bluish shade of green. This decision came about because Japanese language experts had issues with the words used in the laws. In Japan, they have different words for colors compared to the rest of the world. Initially, there were only 4 color words: black, white, red, and blue. So, if they wanted to describe something green, they used the word for blue. Later, the word Midori, meaning sprout, was introduced. Over time, it started being used to describe things that were green in color. Even though this change happened a long time ago, there's still a bit of confusion. Some things with a green hue are still described using the word for blue. That's why officially, traffic lights in Japan are green, but actually look blue. It may be confusing, but that's just how things are in Japan. Number 12. Super expensive fruit. In Japan, giving gifts is a big part of their culture. People usually bring a gift when they visit someone or meet someone new. This is not only common in social situations, but also in business. Giving gifts is a way of showing respect, which is very important in Japanese society. One traditional gift in Japan is fruit, and it has been given for a long time. In the past, it was a popular gift for important people like military rulers and aristocrats. So, if you want to show respect, just bringing any random fruit won't do. In Japan, fruits are graded based on their quality. The land in Japan for growing fruit is limited, so they take special care of the fruit they grow. This results in high-quality produce, but it also makes the prices high. For example, there's a farm where they put a lot of effort into growing apples, and each apple costs more than $15. Number 11. Oshibori. In Japan, keeping things clean is very important. It's not nice to make a mess, and people like to have tidy spaces every day. So, it's no surprise that in Japan, it's normal to be clean before you eat, especially when you go out to eat at a restaurant or a bar. When you go to a bar or restaurant in Japan, they might give you a wet hand towel, called an oshibori, to clean your hands before you eat. This tradition has been in Japan for a long time, even before there were restaurants. In the summer, the towel is cold, and in the winter, it's hot. It seems like a polite and nice thing to do, don't you think? Number 10. Kawaii culture. In Japan, people really love cute things, and they have a word for it called kawaii. It means cute, and it's a big part of their culture. In Japan, it's not just about liking cute stuff. It's like a whole world of cute things, like characters, cartoons, toys, clothes, and even lifestyle choices. Some people in Japan take being cute to a whole new level. They dress up like characters not just for fun, but as a way of life. It's not just about the clothes, it's also about acting cute in a really exaggerated way. This cute culture, or kawaii, is something special to Japan, but it's starting to be liked in other countries too, even though not as much. In the Western world, people might think a cute Nintendo character is nice, but in Japan, it's a whole different thing. Some people there actually live a cute lifestyle every day, acting like their favorite characters. Another thing in Japan is mascots. Everywhere you go, there's a cute character representing a place. It's not just for souvenirs, it shows how much Japan likes cute things in their daily life. Whether you're in a cafe, watching a pop star, looking at ads, or checking out art, you'll see cute characters and styles everywhere. It's like a contagious trend that's spread all over, just like a rash. Number 9. Madame tuna eyeballs. Japanese food has some strange and interesting ingredients that many people in the West haven't heard of. In Japan, they eat many surprising things, and it's hard to pick just one to talk about. But there's something really unique to Japan: tuna eyeballs. Yes, people in Japan regularly eat the eyes of tuna fish, and they enjoy it. These eyes are called madama. People believe that eating them makes you smarter, maybe because fish with omega-3 fatty acids are good for your brain. But honestly, it's not very likely. If you're curious to try, they usually boil the tuna eyeballs and then season them with soy sauce, mirin, or sake. That's how you get a strange meal. Number 8. Japanese streets don't have names. Unlike Western countries, they don't use street names. Instead, they use block numbers. So, to know where you're going, you need to know the block, not the street. It might be a bit confusing, but keep your map with you and be ready for the unique experience of Japan. Number 7. Hued watermelon. I really like watermelon, but I always wonder why it's always in the same round shape. Isn't it time to make fruit more interesting? Japan is already making fruit in cool shapes. They take fruit seriously there, and the best ones cost a lot. Japanese farmers have even made square watermelons, as well as other shapes like hearts and triangles. Originally, they did it to make the fruit easier to fit in the fridge and cut into neat pieces. But now, people like the unique shape, and a square watermelon can cost up to $160. Some people's wallets are ready for that splurge. Number 5. Valentine's Day in Japan. In the United States and around the world, February 14th is Valentine's Day. In Japan, they celebrate it a bit differently. Instead of just one day, they have several days of Valentine's rituals with lots of complicated rules. In Japan, South Korea, and Taiwan, women give men chocolates on Valentine's Day to show affection. But here's the catch. It involves a financial calculation. Women often spend a lot of money on fancy chocolates. The next month, on March 14th, White Day, the man reciprocates the gift. However, he has to follow the rule of 3 and give a gift 3 times the value of what he received. This whole process seems like a way for gift companies to make money. The man's response on White Date supposedly indicates his feelings about the relationship. If he doesn't give a gift, it's bad. If he gives a gift of equal value, the relationship might be over. If he gives a gift 3 times the value, everything is okay. It all sounds a bit complicated and silly. But imagine getting dumped just because of a box of chocolates. That's a messy situation. And the gift-giving rules don't stop there. People also give chocolates to various people, and the quality of the chocolate can send hidden messages like "I love you" or "I think you're not so great." In the end, the chocolate companies are making a lot of money from all these rules and rituals. Number 4. Ice cream that doesn't melt. If you really like food with lots of extra things in it, then this ice cream might be for you. Usually, ice cream is made with simple things like cream and sugar, but that can be a bit boring, right? So, why not add some more things to make it fancy, like this ice cream that doesn't melt easily? The special ingredient is called polyphenol liquid, and it makes the cream in the ice cream harden quickly. This helps the ice cream keep its shape and not melt as fast. So, if you're the type who takes a long time to eat or forgets about your ice cream, this might be good for you. But some people think it's not worth it, and the sprinkles on top seem a bit random. It's interesting how science is working on these kinds of things. Number 3. Cat cafes in Japan. Many folks, especially in cities, live in small apartments where having pets could be hard or even against the rules. But someone came up with a great idea called the Cat Cafe. It's a place where people who love cats can gather and enjoy drinks and sandwiches while being surrounded by lots of cats. The idea is cool, but there might be some problems with keeping everything clean and meeting health standards. This dining experience may not be suitable for everyone, especially if you have allergies. The concept is to have regular cafe food and drinks, but with the added company of many furry cats. Just hope those cats are nicer than mine. Otherwise, you might end up sitting there with your snack while they ignore you and stare at the window, planning something sneaky. If you really love cats, you might not mind having a bit of fur in your sandwiches or watching a cat clean itself while you sip your Earl Grey tea. But hey, everyone's different, and I'm not here to judge. Number 2. Miyagi Zoo Fox Village. This is Japan's biggest zoo and sanctuary that is all about foxes. People can visit and get really close to the foxes. They can even try to play with them and maybe give them food. But be careful, because the foxes might bite. Foxes may look cute, and we know Japan loves cute things, but these foxes are wild. Wild animals don't usually like being touched or played with. Also, foxes like to eat small animals, so giving them their natural food might not be a good idea. The zoo has more than 100 foxes of different colors and types. There are also other cute animals like bunnies and guinea pigs, although the foxes might see them as lunch. Number 1. Free tissues. In Japan, instead of just giving out flyers to tell people about places or events, many companies use tissues to spread their messages. This has been a common practice in Japan for around 40 years. Japanese businesses put colorful ads in a small bag along with a folded tissue. It's a good way for them to advertise, especially for loan and consumer credit companies. Sometimes they even include a coupon for a free drink and a discount voucher for the tissue. This method works well because people often keep the tissue in their bags or pockets for a while. This makes the brands more familiar and people recognize them. Also, tissues are useful, so many people end up using them. Even if you're 6 feet 4 inches tall, in American measurement, visiting Japan can be a unique experience. Have you been to Japan? Share your extraordinary experiences in the comments below. Also, check out the other interesting things on the screen. See you next time.